Hey boss, bad news. Crashed the DJI. Not that one, the FPV. Love you.
An airship destroyed in less
So
than
it's
half a
true,
minute.
we crashed the DJI FPV. It was inevitable. But that's what FPV's all about. Crashing and rebuilding. The only problem is that you can't really do that with the DJI FPV. See, unlike a normal drone, these things are not cheap to replace. We found out the hard way. I knew this would happen. For reference, let's compare prices. Normal FPV versus DJI FPV. New body on the DJI, 200 bucks without motors. New electronics, a combined $400 without a camera. Oh, you want the camera? That's an extra 115 bucks. If you're able to rebuild this thing alone just by buying the parts, it's gonna be about $750. And that's using your non-broken parts. This is a Nazgul 5 by iFlight. It's pre-built, it's got everything you need in it, and it's 400 bucks, all in. Ooh, but you crashed with a battery. That's an extra $200 per battery. Standard FPV 6S LiPo battery, 126 bucks for two.
Hello, anybody home?
Like I said, I knew this was gonna happen. But what happens when you crash your DJI FPV? And how do you replace it? Yes, it was entirely our fault. Nothing that we did there. Hold on. Hello? You've reviewed the tape. It could not be our fault. Mechanical failure. Systems failure. Huh. Well, that's great news, but DJI still has to cover us. So how does that work? First, you gotta find a site to recover the footage. You gotta pay for that deciphering of that footage. Once you get it back, you'll realize maybe the crash wasn't your fault, but it probably was. In our case, the drone actually stopped climbing. The motors just shut off and it flew into the water. To me, that sounds like a case. And any case to take to DJI is gonna be a pain, but it's always worth a shot. Because the thing is, mechanical failures with the DJI product are covered even if you don't have DJI Care for the first year of you purchasing that drone. So you log on to the DJI web portal and you start talking to a chatbot. You really try to urge to give them a number to a real human being that you can talk to about your problem. After tediously talking to a bot, they finally give a phone number. They don't answer 4 times. And they hung up on us the last time. But finally, after connecting with them, they ask us what our problem is. We tell them, they understand, and then they say, oh, you gotta speak to a chatbot. And we're back to square one. And then we talk to the chatbot, and then after they understand what we're going through, they say that somebody from DJI tech support will give us a call within the next few days. Chatbot. Phone call. Now after they call us, it starts a really weird and convoluted email train. It goes a little bit something like this. Hi, I'm Jessica from DJI. Hey Jessica, thanks for responding to my email. This isn't Jessica, this is Ricky from DJI. Okay, I was just talking to Jessica, but hey Ricky, how's it going? Oh, Ricky actually emailed this to me. I'm Thomas. How can I help you? Oh, hey Thomas, just want my drone to be fixed, please. Sure, no problem, just send us the flight record. The drone doesn't work. No, just turn your drone on and give us the flight record. Oh, we can't turn the drone. If you don't respond to this email and tell us what you're gonna do with your property, DJI has the authority to destroy your drone within the next 48 hours. What? And that was a pain. We finally got through to them, but what happened? Well, it turns out that through all that, they still want us to pay for repair, as expected, which is $65 an hour for an undesignated amount of time to repair the drone. Which leads to answering your second question, why didn't we just pay for DJI Care in the first place? Let's elaborate. The initial cost of DJI Care is $200 when you purchase the drone, hoping that you never crash the drone. But if you do crash the drone, then you have to pay an additional $260 for your drone to be replaced. For the first drone, it gets more expensive the more drones you crash. You gotta pay around $500, hoping that you don't crash a drone, but then if you do crash a drone, you have to send it and pay anyway. Either that or pay 65 bucks per hour for an undesignated amount of time plus parts for DJI. Either way, it's gonna be expensive, so why would I front that 200 bucks? And what happened to our drone? Well, we still don't have it. At least that drone. We got a new one because you gotta replace the FPV. You gotta keep flying. All FPV flyers knew that this was gonna happen when DJI released an FPV drone. If you combine not the best tech support with a drone that's inevitably about to crash, and the parts are really expensive and hard to fix. What are you gonna do when you crash? And imagine you just squeaked in that budget to get that drone. You finally get it in the air and then you crash it and you don't have the money to replace the drone. What are you gonna do? Nothing. That's the thing about traditional FPV and why you should have some in your back pocket, especially if you are flying the DJI FPV. These things are so cheap to replace. You know how much one of these motors is? It's like $12. So yeah, we crashed the drone. Do we regret it? No. Drones are gonna crash. That's the point of FPV. The point is to fly this thing as much and as hard and as crazy and as fun as possible. Now my question is, did DJI expect this when they were building this drone? Absolutely. Opportunities for repair is opportunities for payment. And for DJI, they're all about making money. They're a company after all. I wouldn't crash this FPV drone. If I were you, it's a hassle. But we figured that we'd share our experience with you just in case it happens, and just in case you find your drone in the bottom of a lake. Now, if you enjoy videos like this, we've got a bunch of videos on DJI FPV coming out. We've got a bunch of other production-related videos here at Copilot. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. It's been Josh, you're watching Copilot, and I'll see you in the next episode.